Narwhal was a concept, and it was this really interesting concept where we set out and we said, hey, how do we execute fast? How do we execute at such a large scale? How do we make sure, honestly, that we don't fuck it up? Well, we knew that we had to do an API. And the reason we needed to build an API was because that API would allow us to build a foundation. And from there, we'd have the freedom to focus on the products that we needed to execute on. And those products are really important products that probably would be illegal in Germany. Call tool, dashboard, mobile apps, contribution apps, and social apps. Not that I have any judgments. We had about 200 deployed products. That means every single week we deployed onto our servers about 200 products. We had thousands and thousands of servers, and we focused aggressively on the technology that solved the problem. Failure was not an option. I mean, you can't. The fate of the world is at your hands. You know. Sorry. I mean, we saw what happened last time, right? Like, we have to kind of keep it together over there. You don't understand what it's like. So I'm here to talk about 3 important lessons. The first one is build a great team. The second one, practice failure. And the third one is micro-listening. Okay, so the first thing, build a great team. This is really important. How many work on a great team? I don't really know what to say about that. Okay, how many don't work on a great team? Okay, so I actually think it's more important than the people that raise their hand when they don't know, because that's a lot of self-awareness, and that's something that I value. So let's talk a little bit about great teams and how to build them. So the innovation on the campaign, the innovation at Threadless was the team. There was nothing more. We did a lot of cool technology. Technology didn't win the campaign. The team, all the team, like the executive team, everything, that's what won the election. Building a team is not easy. How many here have built teams? How many here thought it was really easy? Okay, so those people are liars. We can put them over there. There'll be more ways to get rid of the liars in a minute. So pruning is one of the first steps. And this is a really hard step for me personally because it involves firing people. The first thing you have to do if you're trying to build a good team is fire people who are not good in the team. Next one is ABC. Does anyone know this movie? Has anyone seen it? Glengarry Glen Ross? Okay, I have not seen it, so I shouldn't use it on my slides, but I don't care. The idea here is always be closing. You've heard that before, right? Yes? Okay. Active audience. The next one is always be creative. The other thing here is something that I talk about a lot, which is A's hire A's and B's hire C's. This is something where you need to practice this. How many here are A's? Come on. Anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, the funny thing is the previous couple slides all powered by Donald Rumsfeld. Not kidding. These are all from Rumsfeld's rules. I found that ironic after I read it. Didn't know. So the next one is trust. Trust is really important. There's a lot of examples of why trust are important. This is one of the parts of my presentation where I have a lot of stories for me why trust is important, but I think this is something that is so personal to the teams. I'd love you guys to think about why trust is important and either tweet them at me, email them to me, or just tell them to me after. I love to hear your guys' stories, and remember, I'm at Harper, and follow me. The next one is measure everything. Metrics drive everything. Okay, so metrics, the reason metrics are good are for 2 reasons. One, if you're trying to build a team, I forgot, I have diversity slide there. That's a really important one. I'll talk about that again in a second. But if you're trying to build a team, metrics help you power what I'll talk about in 4 more slides. So diversity, let's talk about diversity a second. Well, actually, I'll talk about it and you guys listen. Don't be afraid to hire people that look different than you. This is really important, hugely important. And it's not easy. On the campaign, I pretty much failed. Everyone I hired looked roughly like me. Now, I tried really hard, and so this kind of told me a couple things. First of all, it's very hard to find women in the web space that are interested in working in a very crazy job that have 8 to 10 years of experience. This is silly. It shouldn't be hard. We need to make it easier. So I have 2 ways to make this easier. The first one is try. That's the first one. And the second one is talk about it, because there's very few companies here who are actually killing it. In the States, Etsy is doing a really good job of trying to open it up and hire more women. And the thing is they're talking about it. So then other companies are looking at that as an instruction set on how to do this, how to offer more diversity. And there's a couple really good reasons on how to do this, or why to do this. And the first one is, I think that the internet is democratization of access. Strangely, not everyone using the internet is like a white dude from Chicago with a red beard. So we need to make sure that the people who are building the products also look like the people who are using the products. This will also help you with your user experience, help you with everything about it. And it's really important that you guys do this. It will not get easier until we all try.